This was the powerful 15 minutes technique. 15 minutes every day that you can do. A speaking technique, speaking exercise that will help you improve your English speaking fluency. Hello, everybody. How are you all? Hope you're doing great. So, welcome back to another session of learning English and improving your English speaking skills with me. Today, I am going to tell you a powerful speaking technique that you can follow to improve your speaking fluency. This technique will directly hit your speaking fluency, making you absolutely fluent in English. Very easy to follow, something that you can do every day. You just have to give your 15 minutes every day, and you are all set to speak fluent English. Are you all ready for this? I'm Shivangi Gupta, your CELTA certified English language tutor, certified by the University of Cambridge, the UK. And before beginning, please subscribe the channel so that you can get all the lessons that I post for you on this channel. Please like the video and share it with your friends too. Now, coming back to today's lesson. 15 minutes powerful speaking exercise. 15 minutes powerful speaking technique. English speaking fluency technique that is going to help you speak fluent English. Now, this is a 15-minute technique, and I'm going to divide it into 3 stages, right? 3 stages divided into 5 minutes each. That means out of 15 minutes, we are going to divide them into 5-minute slots. 5 minutes slots, different slots, and we have to do something in these 3 slots. What you do is going to help you immensely, not only do your speaking practice, but also improve your fluency. What is the name of this technique? Well, it's my technique. I have created this particular technique for you personally, and I call it Listen and Narrate. That is the name I have given to it. Listen and narrate. Listen and narrate. 3 steps. They're going to be very beneficial and influential for your speaking fluency. Let's begin with all the steps now. Step number 1, or you can also call it a stage. Stage number 1 is to listen. Obviously, it's listening. Now, listening, what are you supposed to listen to? You are supposed to listen to anything for 5 minutes. You have to select something either from YouTube. You can select any YouTube video. They are typically from 5 minutes to 10 minutes to 15 minutes long. You can take up any YouTube video and you have to listen to it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes of listening you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do deliberate listening. You're supposed to do active listening. That means whatever you're listening to, you have to be very careful. You cannot be engaged in any other work, and you cannot just think that, okay, if I'm listening to a podcast, I can just put on my headphones and I can do something, and while that I'm listening to it. No, full attention. You're listening to it for just 5 minutes. You can dedicate your 5 minutes to this particular task completely. So dedicate them. 5 minutes of listening, intentional listening, deliberate listening, active listening for new words, whatever phrases there are in that particular audio, in that particular video you're listening to. You can take up a video from YouTube, you can take up a podcast, you can take a web series, and you can just watch a scene for 5 minutes. You can watch any clip for 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes of listening you're supposed to do. So whatever you're listening to, it can be anything related to lifestyle, it can be a web series, right? Whatever you're listening to, you have to be very intentional with that listening. Listen to it attentively, completely, without the subtitles. Yes, subtitles are not allowed. You do not have to use the subtitles. Don't use subtitles because all of your attention would be there in just, reading the subtitles. If you turn on these subtitles, do not turn on the subtitles. Listen to the audio. On day 1, you might find it a bit difficult. On day 2, you would find it a bit easy, and so on and so forth. As the days they would pass, you'll find this task to be manageable, that now you can listen to the audio comfortably without the subtitles. And that is what we are developing here. We are not just developing the speaking fluency, we are developing our overall English in these 15 minutes that we are dedicating every day. So 5 minutes of intentional listening, and this is going to benefit you so much in developing your all over English skills. Stage number 2. Stage number 2 is narration. Narration. Now, in stage number 2, what you're supposed to do is you are supposed to narrate whatever you have listened to. Not for word to word. You were not supposed to learn the complete audio or the video you were listening to. You were not supposed to learn it, every word, by heart. No. Whatever you've listened to and whatever you can remember or whatever you've understood from that particular audio, you have to narrate. For example, you were watching a video on maybe wildlife preservation, and now you can speak on that particular topic, whatever you have learned from that particular video. Narrate it in your own words. Use your own words. If you're able to use some difficult vocabulary from that particular audio, if you remember it, that's great. Bravo. You're doing a great job. You can use that too. But I'm not saying that you have to use the same sentences, exact sentence structures. No. Whatever information you've gained, the input you gained through that stage 1, now is the time to make it work and create an output in your own words. The next 5 minutes are supposed to be your speaking practice in the form of narration. Whatever you've heard, you have to narrate in your own words. Create that output. Now, there is something else you are supposed to do. You're just not narrating, you're also recording your voice. When you narrate, you have to record your voice, because this is going to be something that's going to help you in stage number 3. The next 5 minutes are going to be dependent on this particular recording that you are doing. So that is why when you're doing your speaking practice, you are narrating. In stage number 2, you have to record your voice. At the same time, whatever you are speaking, do not be conscious that you are recording it. It's for yourself. You are going to listen to yourself. Nobody else will listen. So do not get nervous. Do not be so conscious about that recording that's going on. Be comfortable, be calm, be relaxed. This is not an exam. This is your speaking practice. You are doing your own speaking practice to increase your fluency. So focus on speaking rather than focusing on the recording. Just forget about the recorder. You've just switched on the recorder on your smartphone. Keep it aside. Forget about it. Now focus on the speaking task that is at hand. Because this speaking task is important to increase your what? Fluency. Speaking fluency. Narrate everything that you have listened to. For example, you've listened to a very beautiful podcast. You might have watched a really interesting video on maybe some cuisine, maybe word culture, whatever you have listened to, you just narrate it in your own words. Something you liked, something you found interesting in that particular video, speak about it. Say whatever you want to related to that particular video. It's narration. You're not summarizing it. You're narrating your experience of watching that particular video. What was there in the video? What you listened to? What kind of content was there? Did you like it? How was it interesting? Is it helpful for you? You can add on to so many things when you're speaking, and this will give you a chance to speak more, create more content while speaking, right? So do this and do not forget to record your voice. Stage number 3. Stage number 3 is to evaluate yourself. Evaluation. So the next 5 minutes, basically the last 5 minutes of these 15 minutes, they are going to be dedicated in evaluating your own self. What you spoke, how well you spoke, what kind of vocabulary you used, the sentence structures, your tone, your pronunciation, your intonation, everything you are supposed to evaluate. So listen to the recording, the record yourself step that we did in stage number 2. This time, you have to use it. You have to listen to yourself. Whatever you're speaking, listen to it. Listen to it attentively. Attentively listen to whatever you are saying. And then create a feedback for yourself. Okay, when you're creating a feedback, Do not just criticize the things that you think needs to be improved. Also appreciate something that you have done really well. For example, you have used some new words, appreciate that, write that down. If you have used improved sentence structures, write that too. If you think your pronunciation has improved, write that. If you think that this is something that needs to be improved, for example, pronunciation needs work, for example, your sentence structures are still not up to the mark, you can write that. Evaluate yourself, evaluate your strong points and your weak points, evaluate how much work you need to do in order to become fluent, how much more work is needed, and what are the areas that you need to specifically work on. Because when you evaluate, you need a particular direction in which you need to work. For example, you're doing your speaking practice, you're trying to learn English, you're giving so much time to your speaking practice, learning English, reading, practicing grammar, this and that. But if you really don't know what are the areas of your weaknesses, you might neglect them and you keep on working in a comfort zone. Now, because you're working in that particular comfort zone, you're not able to improve. In order to improve, you have to target your weak areas. Evaluation gives you an opportunity to understand those weak areas of speaking that you are facing, right? So if you address them, you will improve pretty fast. You will get better results. That is why this stage is very important. Evaluation. Evaluate yourself. This is not for you to think that, okay, I have to do this much work, I am not up to the mark. No. This is for encouragement. Not to think that you're not up to the mark. This is for encouragement to become the version that you want to be while speaking English. And this is also done to appreciate whatever you have achieved. So as I'm saying, do not just focus on your weaknesses, but appreciate whatever progress you are making. That's very important. So that you know how much progress you've made and what more is needed to be done. We are going to focus on both the things. That's very important, and this is stage number 3. So this was the powerful 15 minutes technique. 15 minutes every day that you can do. A speaking technique, speaking exercise that will help you improve your English speaking fluency. You will become absolutely fluent. 15 minutes every day. Do this and see the change. This is definitely going to improve your speaking skills. There are more such techniques that I've already discussed. If you want to check out other speaking techniques, do check out these videos of mine, and take up the techniques that I'm discussing in these videos. Again, speaking exercise that's gonna help you improve your English. So that's it for today. That is it. Now I'm gonna meet you again with a new lesson. Till then, everybody, take care and bye.